But the name is Talfa Chicks. I'm with the National Mentorship Movement. I joined the movement in 2020. And I must say, it's great that I'm privileged to be part of this space, just to see how much good South Africans want to do out there, or how much good just the citizens in the country want to do in terms of supporting each other through mentorship. So I've seen wonders, I've seen miracles in the space, people that are giving back and pulling each other up, not expecting any gain, but just to make sure that the other person is getting what they deserve, be it a mentor, be it a mentee. I must say I'm privileged to experience that. So I'm looking forward to learn how this impacted you, or what impact you shared yourself, Lydia. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Cheeks. Gracious?
Thank you, Mto. Good morning, Tolfa again. Good morning, Lydia. It's nice to see you. My name is Gracious. I've been communicating with you via WhatsApp and email. What I do, a relationship agent and project assistant with National Mentorship Movement. I offer support to the mentors and mentees, ensuring that they are having a smooth mentoring journey. Thank you, Mto.
Lovely to meet you.
Thanks, Gracious. Yeah, I believe you do know me, but anyway, let me formally introduce myself. I'm Tol. And what I do now is social media and marketing related things for NMM. And I am part of this wonderful campaign as well. So, did you get a chance to look at the questions that Gracious had sent you?
I did.
Okay, great. So we don't necessarily have to, follow the criteria of the questions. You can lead the conversation as well. But just to kick it off before we get to the questions, you can just, introduce you and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Myself. I am Lydia Nawe. Now, previously Mutale. I was actually using a different surname when I was on the program. I was born in Northwest, Rustenburg, very small village, grew up in a mining town. My father worked in the mine literally underground as an electrician. And my mom is a teacher. And, with teachers, it's almost like they want to pull you in because you'll also be assisting with marking. They always want to keep you busy, even though it's school holidays. So it was really my mother that kind of pulled me into, like the education space, although I resist it my whole career. But it's something that I've always chased knowledge. I've always realized that, the power of knowledge, and it's ugly when you keep it to yourself. Discovering information from each other can really make us grow. And I mean, I grew up mostly boarding school, primary school, high school. So there was a little bit of independence there in growing up, and then studied in varsity. I did social sciences as my undergrad. I was looking into, mostly working with social policy, all of this child support grant that came in. And I actually was lucky enough to sit in a talk with the lady, Francie Luns, that actually, built that policy up from the ground and the impact that it would have. So I really wanted to touch people's lives at grassroots level. And unfortunately, I somehow, the world and its own propelling drove me towards not getting an opportunity in that space. And I ended up getting an opportunity with Anglo in mining, and I took on a career of finance. And giving back has always been something I wanted to do, because even in varsity, I was part of a social development where we would go to old age homes and paint, children's homes. I would volunteer with that. So when I got invited to the program, I was working at PSG as a practice manager. And I was actually going through one of the toughest times personally. I was really in a very dark place personally because I was going through a divorce and my kids were staying with my parents in a different province. And I thought to myself, you know what, instead of wallowing, here is an opportunity to actually touch people's lives and, also shift my perspective as to what positive can happen, you know. And I went into the program. None of the mentees knew, nobody knew what I was going through, but um, it was such a great thing every day coming and seeing their commitment that I even wanted to commit even more. And I felt robbed. I thought the program was too short because I felt like there were so many things that we could have done in terms of exposing them more to the environment, more to investors. So after the program, I got an opportunity to join the JSE, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So now I work for JSE Private Placements, which is our private equity side. I assist SMMEs in raising capital. Um, so clock back, it was actually sort of like a destiny because after that, I decided that that's more the space I want to go into. So now I work in private placements, private equity, debt. We do funds as well. And it's been tough, to understand the environment. I joined in 2023, June, but it's been such a learning curve and just seeing how these small businesses, we call them small businesses, but the impact they actually have at community level is quite huge because I do work a little bit with also our SME division where they also do capital matching and they take businesses through like a 12-month program. So it really it opened my career. It opened many more doors, and I think it also opened more people that I can assist really where I am. So it was an honor, and I definitely did benefit from it. Yeah,
Right. Great,
yeah.
great. Thank you so much for that. So you are certainly your parents' daughter. You've been in mining as well, and here you are,
Yeah.
teaching as well. That was great. Thank you so much. So we're just gonna get to the first question, which is, what motivated you to join the NMM mentorship program?
Well, I really wanted to give back, and I knew that I was also going to learn as part of it.
Yeah.
And I met wonderful people. I met people that, that didn't know if an invoice was going to come in tomorrow, but that still showed up. Their time was very important, and it was also important for me to try and be there in as many ways as I can. And I had a core mentor as well, which was very good because he had even more years of experience. So I got to glean off
Okay.
him. And, sometimes we would have one-on-ones as well, where we would discuss our own perspectives of where the mentees are and what we can do better to assist them. And I think also a lot of what we tried to do was to also give them more information as to other channels they could tap into in their own communities. Um, yeah, but basically, I was really going through a tough time and I wanted to give back. And there's no giving back because this knowledge, we don't leave with it, right?
Yeah.
We can just share it and expound it and multiply it. So sharing is caring, as Mike would say.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah.
Did you get something in return from your co-mentor?
I did. I really
Yeah.
did. I got to learn about especially construction industry.
Yeah.
Two of our mentees, there was a lady and a gentleman. I'm so sorry I don't remember their names, but they were both in construction. So a lot of the terms I didn't quite understand, and a lot of the
Yeah.
regulatory requirements that they required. So I actually had to go back and do research myself and say, okay,
Yeah.
what regulatory requirements are required in their sector? what do they need to meet as minimum requirements so that I can ensure that they actually do have all of those requirements with them.
Yeah, no, okay. No,
Yeah.
that's great if you got something out of it. That whole entire program was actually based on construction. Every mentee that was there was in construction, whether it's building, painting, whatever
Yeah.
the case is. And yeah, I know a lot of mentors that we had weren't quite familiar with the construction space, but it's not necessarily that all the mentees wanted to know about
Yeah.
specific types of cement and whatnot. You know, you've
No,
got
no, no,
your
no.
HR issues, you've got your accounting issues and so
Mm,
forth. So yeah,
mm.
no. Yeah, all of you are very, very valuable in that program. So I'll move on to the second question. How has mentorship supported your personal, professional, or entrepreneurial journey?
It's really made me realize what I'm capable of, that I can always do more. Sometimes when we, especially because I am in what you would call the normal career path, I work in corporate, I go to work, I've got a 9 to 5 and all of that. You tend to think that that is all you have, and then the rest of your time is just your personal time. But when we all look around, we can always do something, and the little bit that you can do actually does help.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
true, true. Thank you. So can you share a specific lesson or piece of advice from your mentees that changed your perspective? It could be one, it could be two, because you're in a group mentorship.
I think it is that entrepreneurs give up too easily,
Mm,
like that they don't try hard enough. They really try hard enough. They try hard. They really do try hard. And most of the time, especially when you have other people that are depending on you for an income, you
yeah,
would rather sacrifice yourself and your own family and ensure that they actually have something to take home.
yeah, no,
I
true.
think that is the biggest misconception that people have, that entrepreneurs are looking for a handout. They're not looking for a handout. They're looking for somebody to lead the way so they can
Yeah,
learn. Yeah.
no, no, true. I did get that a lot from some of the mentees, but I did find myself also in, sitting in the tables when some mentors didn't show up, and I could hear the frustration on some of them when things were not going right. And, most of them always went back to say, I have people depending on me and depending on this business specifically. So yeah, but yeah, I did get the spirit of not giving up from them, which was really great.
And I also
Thank you. Yeah,
I really made it a point to let them know how important it is to take care of yourself,
yeah,
mentally, physically, spiritually, especially in this field that they're in. It's very important that they really look after themselves, and take time to put into and pour into themselves, and take time to pause.
yeah.
Because,
Well,
when no one is pouring into them, they've got to be able to pull it up from within. So that self-care
yeah,
is also very important.
yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. All right. What challenges has mentorship helped you overcome?
Talfa's got a question.
Oh, all right, Mr. Chicks.
Well, it's more of an endorsement statement, Lydia, just to say I believe that is why we exist. There are those people that are not born with the thing that says in them, you can do it. There are some
Mm.
of us that are born scared to try. And therefore, if I do get a mentor like Lydia, Lydia is going to help me remember that, yeah, you can actually do this. There is power within me that can actually come out and help me support myself on the journey. So you're going to guide a person up until a certain stage where you feel like, I know now this person remembers to say they can actually do it for themselves. So just an endorsement statement. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Shakes. The next question is, what challenges has mentorship helped you overcome?
Self-belief as well. Seeing them work with as minimal resources as they have, and it's not a guarantee that tomorrow is going to change. But seeing them show up with as minimal resources as they can and saying, what can I do? Even though I don't have what is it that I want right now, but I will use what I have, and I always also, there was a gentleman that was building kitchen cabinets, and I really encouraged him to try and see where his suppliers are, where he's purchasing, see if he can endorse them on social media whenever he's using their products, post it on social media, get a barcode that says anybody that's liking your thing or coming in and purchasing, then you can get a kickback from that and say, I'm getting back 10% from every purchase that is coming from me, actually, because you're promoting them, you're using their products, you're showing how well it works, and you're promoting them online. So that actually, it was seeing his passion that actually it took me a while to think about it. How can I actually, more assist him in terms of, getting more money, because his thing is that it's project based. So it has to be family individuals coming to him to get projects. So how can he then, in the meantime, still generate income from what he's doing, even when he's not on a project? So I don't know how well it worked, but we did set up something for him to establish, as well as set up more like a catalog for his business that I shared with him. And he was happy with the catalog as well.
Great. Well, thank you for that. So how has your relationship with your mentee or mentees in this case influenced your confidence, growth, or opportunities?
It's really made me more curious.
Yeah.
Because now I do work with small businesses, it's made me more curious to not only focus on the numbers, to also focus on the drive that's driving the individual. So I take more time to learn who the person is. And I do deal one-on-one with most of our shareholders and directors of the companies. So I try to understand where they're coming from, the history of the business, challenges that they're facing, before we even get to where the financials are and all of that. I really try to understand what is it that's driving them. Who is their community? Do they have a community? How do they sustain it on days when things are really tough and they've got nobody to call, but everybody's looking at them for answers. So I try to come from that perspective so I can know more how to show up for them.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Next question is, what does mentoring through NMM mean to your personality? Oh, not personality. What does it mean to you personally? Sorry.
I think it means Ubuntu.
Yeah.
I think it means Ubuntu. I think it means touch one, touch all. I do hope that whatever I left in them, is something that really propelled them to a greater height. I hope that I left them at a better place than where they were when we met, because certainly they did that for me.
That's wonderful. I mean, if NMM had to ever have a slogan, it would be touch one, touch all. I really like that one. So, all right. I think the last question is, in what ways do you see yourself paying it forward in the future?
Ah, I'm hoping that we can actually have, funds. We can have a
Yeah.
fund that is actually propelling these businesses. And not only that, we can go to the SETAs and all of that. But the SETAs themselves, all they can do is give us a grant, but they cannot really help you on how to scale. I'm
Mm.
hoping that we can get those private investors into SMMEs and give them and give their time back and give their skills back. Because honestly, they are going into retirement and we have to be able to replace the workforce and maintain this country's economy. We have to be able to do that. And the only way we're going to do that is through skills. So for me, I would love to see a fund that actually funds SMMEs. I would love to see the skills transfers from private sector going to the SMMEs and not just we going to pump money in. But no, we are actually going to, there's no reason why, an SMME cannot be a 20% collaborator with the likes of Anglos on an overseas contract, because then you are already exposing that group of people to how this contract works. They're studying under you. By the time, 10 years time, they will be your replacement in the sector. So I really hope that we can be more open with knowledge. We can share more. And the thing is, we have to start creating these communities ourselves. We can't wait for people to come to the table. We have to create our own tables. I think it's very important for entrepreneurs to know how to manage their costs, how to do their pricing. I found that a lot of them struggled with how to price themselves. Therefore, in the back end, they really have not made the profit that they were expecting because they didn't price themselves correctly. It's very important for them to understand those things. Yeah, I really would have loved it to be more intensive. And I do think that definitely, the private sectors, UK Tech Hub, they do have money. The Anglos, they do have money. Us, the JSE, we do have money. We do want to make that impact. Yes, we do have in-house things, but there is also our SME division that you could approach and say, hey, from our cohort last year, these are the ones that we actually want to submit and see if they can make it into the cohort so that they can actually get to capital matching. Because the way we're thinking about it as the group is that, ideally, a startup would go to SMME, go through the 12-month cohort, get capital raise fund ready, get some capital in that program, come up to us at private placements, be able to scale, eventually list on the small alt exchange, and eventually go to the main board. In an ideal world, that's how we want to see our industry moving. But we do realize, because before we were getting, so the issue was that we were getting companies that were not capital raising fund ready. So hence the SMME part of it, to get them that ready, to give them those skills and expose them to investors as well. How do you pitch? I would have really loved that to be included. Pitch work is very important. How do you prepare for a pitch and how do you actually go through the pitch?
All right. No, thank you for that. Thank you so much. Mr. Chicks, any inputs?
We appreciate it.
Olivia, thank you so much. Gracious?
All good on my side. I just appreciate seeing Lydia.
Right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Gracious. Lovely
Gracious.
to meet you. Yeah.
Well,
And
Lydia, thank you so much, for being with us. We look forward to sharing your story, this interview. Thank you for being with us.
thank you for the invite back. And hopefully this then will be the beginning of even better things.
We hope so. We definitely hope so.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
And
you
thank
so
you
much
for
for
the
your
work
time,
that
and
you do.
thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great day, Lydia.
Thank you, you
Bye.
too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.